Hello everyone, how are you doing today? Good? That's great. That's awesome. And if not, I hope your day gets a million times better. So, I'm here today to talk about my favorite show ever, and that may make me toxic, but I accept that. Okay? We're talking about Yellowjackets. Season 3 just dropped, and I just got the chance to finally watch it. There's only the first 2 episodes out, and from Google, it seems like every episode was going to come out on Friday. I need all of them right now. Now, today in this video, I just need someone to talk about the show with. I need someone. No one in my real life watches this show, and so hence I go to the internet to look for conversation. I love this show. I am personally a professional young Lottie, teen Lottie defender. We'll talk about how I feel about her right now. But I have her Doom coming outfit. Yes, it's not exact same, but I'm just a girl, okay? I'm just a girl. But yeah, I want to talk about season 3 so far. Like I said, the only first 2 episodes are out. If I enjoy doing this and I feel like I have something today, I will continue to make videos about every new episode. Because I believe it's probably just going to drop one at a time from now. But let me just share my thoughts. So first, general thoughts. Obviously, spoiler warning. Awesome. General thoughts. So far, there's been moments, there's been highs, but episode 1 so far was a lot of recap for me, and I don't think it's hooking me as much as it has some other seasons, and that's okay. There is so much going on with this show, and it has hooked me, and I'm sat, and I'm waiting, and I'm listening, but I have to acknowledge that episode 1 was a lot of recap. I love when Van was doing their thing and they were like preaching about all that's happened, but it just was like, I know. And I understand that they have to do that for people because it's been a while since the show came out, but I was like, yep, I know. And I just have to acknowledge that because I don't want to be here and be like, this show is perfect in every single way. No, this show is not perfect, but it's perfect to me, okay? I love it on a way I cannot describe. But I also am going to acknowledge its flaws because that is how people grow and that is how we progress as a society. Now, while episode 1 wasn't my favorite, there was moments that hooked me. It's starting off by Mari calling Shauna a gay wad. Love that. I love more of that more than I care to admit. And I can say that as a gay woman, okay? Because I was like, yes, Mari, clock her ass, okay? Yes, she is. She is one of us, whether she is ready to admit it or not. And now we know she was ready to admit it. We'll get to that. Best part, obviously. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I watched it right after each other, so maybe I'm gonna be like, oh, this happened in episode 1, but it happened in episode 2. We're fine. Episode 1 and 2 was a conglomerate in my head, and there was nothing either of us could do to change that. So I apologize up front. Now, episode 1, I loved the idea of them having the little summer solstice. I love their little campfire. I love Nat's new hair, their little campsite, and however, I do wish we got to see more of the fallout after the fire because that ending of season 2 was crazy. Like the shot of like Nat's eyes and it's like all red, you know what I'm talking about? That was crazy. And I wish we got to see more of the fallout. Yeah, we summarized it. It was 12 days and the cabin was on fire. I wanted to see that. I did. And I'm not going to lie to you, but I love where we're at now. I love that we progressed to this place. However, I do wish we were able to see more of the fallout. However, I understand, like, they got to keep this shit running. However, I do think there was great opportunity there to us to see Nat's leadership skills, because it's clear she's struggling with that. Because she is strong and she is stubborn and she is determined. But she would not be my first pick for leader, and that's okay. That is no fault to her. She's more of the lone wolf, the independent scout, the Wolverine to your X-Men, if you will. Big X-Men fan. I apologize if I make those references a lot. we learn about it through like conversations with the characters, but like show not tell. I'm not just gonna complain the whole time. I love this, but we're just working through my thoughts, and I want to know if you agree or disagree too. Like, this is like open conversation. This is just where I'm at, and I'm communicating that now. So yeah, but here we are. I love what we got going on the party. Shauna's little diary entry was kind of iconic. It was a little but it was iconic. Okay. I love that. She's like, dun, dun, dun. Because I love the whole like Shauna journaling thing. And whenever I see her journal something, I just think of like how Jeff reacted when he read it for the first time. So that's enjoyable. But like, once again, it just was a lot of recap. Now, so there's a lot going on. So I'm just going to go through like the main events in my head. And I just watched it for the first time, so I may have not picked up on everything. But here's what I have to say. So where should we start? Callie, Shauna's daughter. I have a lot of thoughts on Callie, and I'm honestly really excited to see where she's going to be taken this season, because I think she's going to be one of the most interesting stories this season. She starts off basically the season getting suspended by throwing like pig guts on bullies. Iconic. No notes. But very much notes. I was like, oh God. And then then she like, her and her mom bonded over that, which is horrible news for everyone else in the world, but great news for me. Because in my, like, as a teacher in training, like, it's one of those moments where you have to, like, that was iconic and I love that for you, but like, you cannot encourage that behavior. Like, you know what? We can handle this in another way where we're not assaulting people. You know what I mean? So like, when that scene of Shauna and her were like over her like assaulting her bullies, I was like, uh-oh. And love Jeff since season 2, not season 1, season 2. I have to make that very clear. He obviously does care, but she needs a Jeff right now, not a Shauna. Because Shauna's gonna be like, yes, girl. And you know what? Now you should have thrown guts on them, and then you should have like threatened them or something. You know, like Shauna's like, okay, go bring it farther. Jeff would be like, well, let's break it down. But Jeff is not fathering right now. He's busy with selling couches, which we'll get to. And I get that. He's the only money maker in the house. In this economy, it's stressful. I'm stressed. You're stressed. But I'm like, Jeff, you need to sit down right now and have a conversation with Callie. Because you know your wife. I know your wife. That's a conversation that's happening. Me and you should be both more concerned than we are. Now let's talk about Shauna. Adult Shauna, well, I'm kind of talking about the adults right now. Adult Shauna, I'm excited to see where it goes. I think I'll save that more for like when we continue on farther in the story. She's just doing her thing. Now, I want to talk about Misty, and a lot of her arc is pretty similar from episode 1 to episode 2, so I'm just probably gonna like summarize it right here. Now, I think it's sweet that Misty is the only one who is very outwardly affected by it, because very clearly Misty and Nat's relationship was very essential to the character and also the show. Like, more people were grieving no more Misty and Nat like moments in the show than more people were grieving Nat. Those two were an iconic duo, okay? So I think it's sweet that like Misty is the most like outwardly emotional about that, because I think like even the fans would agree, like they had like a really tight bond that everyone would love to see. Her whole thing with Walter I think is really sweet. I think Walter's really much trying to care for her, but Misty is not wanting to be clocked right now in her behavior. And I saw a YouTube comment where someone was like, well, why is Misty just wants to be needed? Why is she putting Walter away? And what I would say to that is Misty wants to be needed by her girls, and she's not ready to accept that they're using her. Now, I'm not trying to demean a mental illness, so I'm going to think carefully of a different word. Misty has a lot going on in her brain. You know, she makes a lot of decisions, like all of our main cast, right? So it's good that Walter is trying to clock her. However, it's clear that Misty isn't ready yet, and so I feel bad for Walter. And her whole alcoholic arc has me concerned. She is so strong, yet so easily manipulated if you know her tell, or if you're the right person. Like, the reporter chick from season 1 was never gonna slip past Misty. But the girls, Lottie, like, she wants their affection so bad. So she would serve herself up if she had to. You know what I mean? I don't think she would actually do that. I think she has more self-preservation than affection for the girls. But I think it could go either way, honestly. So I'm excited to see where Misty goes continuing the season, because I think it's just going to be like a lot of her grieving and like a lot of her relationship with Walter, which is fine, but I'm not like, you know, like, I like Walter and I like their relationship, but like right now it's just a lot of them bickering, Misty being like, no, no, no. And I think it's going to get more than that as the season progresses, but that's just kind of where we're at right now. Also, her taking on the jacket is adorable and makes me sad. That's how I feel about that. Now, Ty and Van, I love that they're together. It makes me happy. However, I know it's not meant to be. Let's just say that. When they were like making out in the house, I was like, oh my God, Simone's gonna be back. Was that her name, Simone? I think so. She's gonna be back here any minute and I'm gonna cry. Ty, you have a wife and kid. And to be fair, you messed up that relationship probably then beyond repair for the rest of your life. But I was just like, oof. I think Ty is going through a lot right now, like much like everyone. But she is spiraling, and she's spiraling fast. And I think instead of trying to get the help she needs, she's connecting back to her teen self, connecting back with Van, and like getting into this like crazy mindset. She also, pause, it annoyed me that she impeached herself as senator, because I was like, we spent that whole season rooting for you, girl. We spent that whole season rooting for you. And now it's just like, oh, I left. And I'm like, I would love to see a little bit of that, but I get why you did, but like, come on, like, it was a little unsatisfying, I think, narratively, but either way. But yeah, so she impulsively did that, and so obviously she's spiraling, everything's going wrong in her life, and so she's connecting back to Van, and while I do love Van, they are not good for each other. So, I have a lot of thoughts on that. But I am interested to see where that dynamic goes, because I do think it's going to be one of the highlights of the season for sure. And the whole thing when they kissed and like we saw the man with no eyes, we have been sat waiting for to see what the man with no eyes is going to be. So I'm wondering if that's going to correlate. I wasn't thinking originally, but I saw it on a bunch of people talking about on Reddit, that Van's cancer is already in remission. She's like chilling. I want to clarify, young Van in the show goes by she, her pronouns as far as I'm aware, but young teen Van actor goes by they, them. So sometimes I switch it up, but no, like when I'm referring to the character, she, her, but just like the young actor goes by they, them. So if you're like, why are you calling them they, them, she, they? Clarification. Continue. Now, Van. I actually really love them. Like, adult Van is like, I think one of my favorite adult characters, because I think they're like so, how do I word it? Like, she's so not like in the bullshit, you know? She was just chilling. And she's grieving like her whole situation from the wilderness, but I think she, in a way, she handles it better than the rest of them, but also worse than the rest of them. Like, I think she's still on like the wilderness like religion, like that's in her head, but I think like she tried to move on in her life, and the other characters, they tried to move on but they never moved on. So I love Van's realism and like bluntness, and when they're at the fancy restaurant, she was just like, come on, like, come on. And I think Ty does need that, but I don't think that she needs Ty right now, because I think that's like bringing her back to her old self, and that's the last thing she needs right now. One of my lessons in life that I will bestow upon all of you, I am no saint, but if you break up with someone, you move on. Someone break up with you, you move on. You cannot be vying for the attention of a relationship that you need to move on from. And maybe, of course, there's exceptions, but that is a general rule that I encourage all of you to follow. That's that. Yeah, so I'm interested to see where that relationship goes, but I do not think it's going into a healthy place. But it's like, do I want it to be healthy? I love the mess. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. Now, let's talk about, in my opinion, the more interesting timeline, the younger selves. Ooh, let's talk about Shauna. We'll get back. We'll get back to that. We'll get back. You know what I'm talking about? We'll get back to that when we get to that part. So young timeline. Love the summer solstice. So cute. Love that. Shauna and Mari are beefing. I love we're getting to see more of Mari this season. Shauna is just being a lot and like fair, but she's just being a lot. So like those are two very explosive personalities punching each other, and I agree with Ty. Nat should have clocked that better. I think Nat is I don't think that Nat is meant to be this leader of this explosive group. Should Ty be a leader? Debatable, but I think at least Ty would have clocked that. You know what I mean? I don't think any of these girls are right to be leaders because they're a bunch of like 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds in the wild. But Nat is more relaxed and was like, whatever, like they'll get over it. But it's like, no, girl. They will not get over it. And then putting them in timeout for the week, I was like, but I love that Nat is trying to protect Coach Ben. Sorry, it's a little bit of a jump start. Because I really loved their relationship, their friendship, not relationship. So I think that's really sweet. And I think Nat is too caught up in like trying to take up this role she didn't even really want in the first place to like even think about how the other girls are perceiving her. Because Shauna told Misty, Shauna is going to blow that up in Nat's face, probably in front of everyone. And then Nat's going to be on the chopping block. Not literally, we know she survives, but like the girls are going to be mad at her. Especially when Misty goes, well, we were looking for Mari, and then we saw that, and then Nat saw the move. Like, I know Misty means a lot to Nat, but also I think at this point in the timeline, Misty is looking for anyone's attention, hence why she went and talked to Shauna. So I don't think that loyalty is strong as it is when we get to the adult timeline. So I just foresee that being a whole mess. Van and Ty, so cute in the teen timeline. We love that. Van is a preacher. Good for them. Ty is a control freak. Love that for her. I don't have much to say about them. Like, I was kind of talking about Nat in the teen timeline. I think she is so kind of focused on trying to make it work that she is missing all of the important pieces. She's focusing on the big idea that she's not saying what everything. I'll talk now. I said at the start of this video, I am a certified teen Lottie defender, and it is the case. And the girls are going to be mad at me for this, but I have to speak my truth. Before I start my Lottie defense rant, I will say she is annoying me right now. She's annoying you, she's annoying me, she's annoying everyone. However, I'd like to remind you these are all children. And Lottie, my queen, is off her meds. And she is trying to help everyone. There is not in young Lottie. I don't know how I feel about adult Lottie, to be honest. That's a whole other thing. Talking about teen Lottie, there is not a mean bone in her body. She is trying. Is she doing the right thing? No. No. No, ma'am. No, sir. No, them. However, I genuinely believe she is trying. She believes there's this eldritch beast above her, and she's like, we gotta keep it happy, or we're all gonna die. I would be stressing too. She believes that she's been chosen or was chosen by this eldritch beast. I would try to be talking to it too. And poor Travis, that's a lot, and we'll unpack that in a second. She should not be talking to me like that. She should not be feeding him, what's the word? I'll just say like the shrooms. But I will defend her because I see the goodness in her, okay? I see the goodness and I see her trying, okay? Now, she took a beating for all those girls. Who else did that besides Van? But that was not a chosen beating. Van has just been struck by a curse of death, okay? So that's how I feel. But so I think what Lottie's trying to do now is like she had this like position of just like this preacher, this cult leader, Teen Lottie, and now like she was like, okay, I have to hand this crown away now. This elder beast no longer wants me. But like that was like her role, that was her purpose. So I think she's still trying to connect to that because no one's really talking as much about the cult shit now. But that's like all Lottie knows, how to like get them through. She believed in the cult shit, so they got the bear, right? Like that's like all she knows. That's how she's trying to protect everyone. But yeah, what she's doing ain't cool. And Travis, I don't blame him, but I'm mad at you for when he was like, no, I don't want me no more. Look at that chick. Akilah, is that her name? Oh my gosh, Akilah. I love her. I think it's a little weird they made the only like dark skinned black character like the farmer, but that's me. That's a lot. So I admit that's me overthinking a little bit. I just had to say that for the girls, okay? But it makes sense because last season she was like had the relationship with the dead mouse, so of course she would want to be like connected to the animals. I'm just covering my bases here, trying to see things from every perspective, right? I try to be open, listening, okay? He's like, that chick over there, like look at her connection with the earth. And Lottie was like, you know what? So true, King. Good luck with that trauma. And it's like, it's hard. You're like, Travis, like, I don't blame you, but why would you do that to my girl? She don't deserve it. Let her hang out with the ducks and the rabbits, okay? But, I mean, like, I get it. So, in Travis, I'm glad that they're focusing more on about his, like, his anger and his feelings towards Javi's death. Because, like, he was just kind of like, you know what? I mean, he's dead, so I'll eat the heart. And I was kind of like, whoa, okay. So I'm glad he's, like, at least acknowledging it. I really hope they continue to build into that, and I think they will. What is these voices he's hearing? I go back and forth on whether or not I think it's supernatural and whether or not I want it to be supernatural. If it's supernatural, obviously he is so connected to this death and greed that like the wilderness wants to like him to be like the next person because he's so connected to all these forces and all this death. If we're going, it's not supernatural, then obviously he's going through so much right now and he's crashing out. So either way, I'm worried about him, and I'm honestly really excited to see how that character continues. It's unfortunate we already know he's not going to survive for long in the adult timeline, but I think, obviously, gender is a spectrum, gender binary, but I think, so acknowledging that, I think his role as, like, the only guy there, especially now that Coach Ben is gone, is really interesting. And especially now that we know Nat and him broke up, the show is bigger than romance, and I acknowledge that. However, like, come on. So we know Jackie tried, and Jackie is snacky now. So I don't know if another girl's gonna try it. But, like, you see what I'm saying? I think his role of the only dude there is interesting. And so I'm interested to see how they continue to utilize that. Because I would still argue Doomcoming is one of the craziest and most interesting scenes in the whole show. So I think Travis's like arc is going to be one to like watch for this season for sure. Now let's get to my girl Shauna. Her and Melissa were just bonding. She was like, yeah, she's a bitch. She's like, she is so a bitch. And I love that for them. I love that. And then Shauna was like, you know what? They don't know my baby. That was my baby. I don't want my baby to be part of your cult shit. She moves the baby over. She goes to check on her poor little baby, and she sees flowers, and she's like, oh, no. No. In comes Melissa, who she just learned had a personality 2 days ago. That line was hilarious, by the way. You're so right. She does have a personality. And then she's like, And I was like, oh Lord, it's about to come. And then Melissa kisses her. And then she kisses back. And we all cheered. You cheered. I cheered. I was like, this is the shit this is why I watch the show. I love messy, toxic lesbians, okay? They are what I live for. They are what I breathe for. It's messy, okay? And you and I both know Sean doesn't like Melissa like that. She's Jackie in her, and she needs somebody because she is isolating herself. But that is going to be so messy, and I am so excited to see how that unfolds. And then her paralleling in, like, the real, like, adult timeline, I'm like, oh, because that was really cool parallels. So we're like, oh, that's probably going to be Melissa. I don't know. 2 thoughts. Thought 1, I don't know how I keep feeling, but, like, every season's like, yeah, there was another girl. Like, I think we've hit that pony a few times, but also, if it was Shauna's messy lesbian relationship, I'm so sad. I don't even care. Drop 3 more. I want all of the girls, in this current timeline to survive. I like them. Even Mari. Imagine if Mari was still alive. We know she's not. But imagine if she was. You know you want that messy bitch walking in. And imagine the potential. Imagine it. Just, like, take a second. But I don't. She's dead. She's deader than dead. She is so dead this season. Love you, girl. But you're dead. Do I think Coach Ben's gonna kill her? No, but yes. Coach Ben, love my boy. I have to admit it. I still think you're wrong for what you did in season 1 with the whole Misty thing. You were wrong for that. But there's a lot of wrongs, okay? So that aside, I don't honestly think he wants to hurt any of the girls. I don't think he did the fire anymore. I heard someone's made a theory that it was I forgot what it's called, night tie or whatever, and I can see that. I don't think he, in his right mind, wants to hurt a hair on those girls' bodies. So, when Mari dies, I hate to be that person, but when she dies, if it is Coach Ben, it is not Coach Ben in his true self, if you know what I mean. I want Mari to be Pit Girl. I do. I can't lie to you. You want it. I want it. Maybe Jen. We can also be Jen, maybe. But we haven't seen a lick of her, basically. She showed up and she was hunting, and I was like, huh? I thought it was like with Peace and Love. It's been a while since I watched season 2. So I don't feel like connection with her like I do Mari at this point in the show. So if Mari's Pit Girl, then I'm going to be a lot more gagged than it's Jen, even though we see it coming. You see what I'm saying? So, but yeah, Mari's going to die this season. But do I think it's Coach Ben? No-ish. We'll talk about that because I'm sure it's going to be at like the end of the season, because I think we're going to get a whole like nice character arc with Mari and Coach Ben, because she sees how much she's struggling right now, so they become a little tag team duo, and then Mari's going to have to choose between the girls or Coach Ben, and it's just going to be a lot. But yeah. But I love that we're getting bisexual and or pansexual Shauna this season, because let's be honest, we were robbed season 1. Moment of silence. Ella Purnell, you're in my heart forever. Now, final thoughts. I think I hit all the points I wanted to hit. Season 3 is good, but I'm waiting for her to be great. I'm gonna be honest. Do you like my chaperone flag? I got it for Christmas. I need to put it up, sorry. But I'm waiting for it to be great. But I see the stepping, like the stones they are laying, and I'm ready. And I'm ready for you to be great. You just have to give me the opportunity to see that. And I think this is going to be possibility first, that the adult timeline might have potential to be crazier and more interesting than teen timeline. Just saying. And I'm hoping for it, because adult timeline, everyone agrees that it's usually the rockiest. I love that we have an adult timeline, but however, I think the writers could handle it better. So So that's that on that. I'm excited for season 3. I'm so sad and I'm so ready and I'm so glad my girls are back, and I'm pissed I have to wait until Friday to see them again. I think I'm gonna start rewatching season 2. Because it's been a while since I've rewatched season 2. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Tell me your thoughts right now. Put in the comments. Tell me what you think. Thank you for listening to my rant and my theories and my delusions. I appreciate you and I appreciate your time. Let me know what you think, because we are in the hell of a season, because everything's awful right now. So take care of yourself and take care of your trans brothers and sisters and they themselves as siblings. We need queerness more than ever, and I'm gonna say it from the loudest and tallest rooftops. So I don't care if you're a part of the community or not a part of the community. Do your part to make sure those people are, trans people are seen and heard. Because right now they're trying to silence them, like any other minority group. Same with my people of color. If you're a person of color right now, and I'm talking about America. Sorry, I'm an American. Fortunately for everyone else, you know what I mean. Protect yourself. Know your rights. I love you and stay safe. Thank you.